He walked into a bar and was never seen again. This is the baffling disappearance of Brian Shaffer. On March 31st, 2006, Brian, a bright 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University, was celebrating the start of spring break. That evening, he met his father, Randy, for a steak dinner. Randy noted that Brian seemed exhausted from studying for his upcoming final exams, but was excited about a planned trip to Miami with his girlfriend, Alexis. This was the last time Randy would ever see his son. Later that night, Brian met up with his friend, William Clint Florence, at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a bar located on the second floor of the South Campus Gateway Complex in Columbus, Ohio. The two had a few drinks and then went bar hopping with some of Clint's friends. Sometime after midnight, the group made their way back to the Ugly Tuna. Security footage is where this case takes a truly bizarre turn. The camera at the entrance of the Ugly Tuna is the only way in or out of the bar, besides a service exit that was not in use by the public. At 1:15 a.m., the camera shows Brian, Clint, and another woman named Meredith Reed riding the escalator up to the bar. They enter, and the night continues. Around 1:55 a.m., security footage captures Brian outside the bar, briefly chatting with two young women. He says goodbye to them, turns back toward the bar entrance, and steps out of the camera's view. This is the last confirmed sighting of Brian Shaffer. He seemingly vanished into thin air. When the bar closed at 2 a.m., Clint and Meredith waited for Brian outside. They tried calling his phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Assuming he had walked back to his apartment nearby without telling them, they left. Brian's girlfriend, Alexis, and his father tried to contact him all weekend, but their calls and texts went unanswered. On Monday morning, when he missed his flight to Miami, they knew something was seriously wrong. They reported him missing. The police investigation began immediately. They reviewed the security footage from the Ugly Tuna Saloona and every other camera in the area. And this is where the mystery deepens. The footage shows Brian entering the bar, but there is absolutely no footage of him ever leaving. Investigators searched every inch of the bar, the building, and the surrounding area, including dumpsters and sewers. They found nothing. The police interviewed everyone Brian was with that night. His friend Clint Florence initially cooperated, but later refused to take a polygraph test and secured a lawyer. Clint has maintained that he has no idea what happened to Brian. The two women Brian was last seen talking to were identified and said nothing unusual occurred. Over the years, many theories have emerged. Could Brian have intentionally disappeared to start a new life? His family and friends find this highly unlikely. He was excelling in medical school and deeply in love with his girlfriend, who he was planning to propose to in Miami. Could he have been a victim of foul play inside the bar? If so, how was a body removed without anyone noticing and without being caught on camera? Some have speculated he might have changed his appearance and slipped out with a crowd, or perhaps used the service exit, but there is no evidence to support any of these ideas. Tragically, Brian's father, Randy, dedicated the rest of his life to finding his son. He never gave up hope, following every lead until his own accidental death in 2008. Brian's mother had passed away from cancer just before he disappeared. Now, his only remaining family is his younger brother, Derek. Today, nearly 2 decades later, Brian Shaffer's case remains one of the most perplexing, unsolved disappearances in recent history. A medical student walked into a bar and, against all logic, never walked out. What do you think happened? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more unsolved mysteries.